Welcome, friends, to the second day of my 3-day visit to Germany, and I'm very happy to see you again. I've noticed that there are more people wanting personal time with me, one-on-one, than we had anticipated, so there has been a slight modification in the program. So I'll be talking less to the general audience and have more time set apart for the personal one-on-one meetings with different people who have asked for it. I hope that will suit you, because people have some personal questions they do not want to ask openly, and they want one-on-one meetings. I think that's quite fair. So that's why my talks may be limited. The new schedule has been put up, and I hope it suits you. I mentioned yesterday that so long as we are seeking to go away from this illusory world into our true home, we are also always able to meet a perfect living master who can take us there. A perfect living master is a human being like ourselves, no difference, born like us, dies like us, falls sick like us, eats like us. There is no difference as a human being. Has a karma like us, has ups and downs in life like us. The only difference is that his awareness, his consciousness is constantly in touch with all levels of creation, and including the level of the Creator. So that is why his difference is only in how much he is aware of, and nothing more or less. That is why we cannot actually always know who is a perfect living master. But if we seek a perfect living master, if we are on his list of people, souls, that he is mandated to take back home, he'll find us, no matter where we are. And that is why these coincidences happen in our life, and very strange things happen by which we run into these people. When we are ready, they come into our life. That is why in India they say, when a chela is ready, the guru appears. They do not say that when a chela is ready, he can find a guru. They say when a chela is ready, a guru appears. What is our state of readiness which makes a guru appear? The readiness is that we are seeking and are fed up with this world. If we are not fed up, they don't appear. They say, go and have a good time. If you're enjoying your life, there is no problem, go ahead. A friend of mine once came to me and he said, I am having a good time, I have a lot of money, a very nice house, I enjoy my life, why should I meditate? I say, you shouldn't, go and have a good time, enjoy yourself. You're not a candidate for the spiritual path. When you'll be ready, you'll automatically find out. Next week he came back to me again. He says, my life is miserable. My wife left me, and so dished me, so people cheated me. I said, in 1 week so much has changed. No, we try to sometimes pretend to be happy when actually we are unhappy. The truth is, nobody is totally happy in this world. We are all unhappy in one way or another. Some people are happy for the material goods they have, but they are very unhappy with their personal life, with their social and economic life, personal, emotional life. They are very sad, something has happened. On the other hand, some people have nothing material, and they are deprived of those things, but they are otherwise very happy in their relationships. Looks like there is some kind of a balance. I once conducted a survey. When I was at Harvard University, I was studying economics actually, so it didn't really fit in with the subject of economics, but I suggested to my professor, I said that you say there is a law of diminishing returns in economics, that if you keep on getting more of something, its value becomes less and less. I said, is it true that if you get more and more of happiness, it also becomes less? He said, I didn't consider that in economic terms. I said, is it possible that people work for no return at all? You say everybody invests time and money for a return. Is it possible that people are just doing it for happiness with no return, economic return? He said, economically, no. In economics, we believe if you make an investment of your time and money, you're expecting some return for it. I said, what happens to a man who helps a woman, old woman, who's trying to cross a street, and he just holds her hand and takes her across the street without knowing that woman, and gets a sense of happiness with no return? He said, well, we do not know in economic terms if that is true. I said, will it be all right if I measure how people measure their happiness as an economic subject? He said, go ahead. That is how the survey started. So I prepared a list of questions in the survey paper, asking people, about 1,000 people picked up from the greater Boston area telephone directory. And I picked up 1,000 names from there randomly, and I prepared a questionnaire and said, I am a Harvard student and I am preparing this in order to write a paper for the university. So will you tell me what are the factors that make you happy? And on the other side of the paper, tell me what makes you unhappy. Then all the papers came in. Most of the people responded, which was very good. I saw almost all of them gave similar answers. They said if they have a lot of money, if they have a good house, if they got good children, if they got good family, good friends, they are happy. And on the other side, they wrote the opposite of that. If we are poor, if we don't have a nice place to live, don't have good clothes, and we don't have good friends, and the children turn out to be different than what we expected, we are unhappy. So then I took those papers and selected some of them where they were emphasizing the importance of money. So I interviewed many of them as a follow-up to that survey. I met a ex-professor who was a businessman, and he had taught in the Harvard Business School and had a PhD from Harvard Business School, and now was the CEO of a company. And his assets, declared assets, known assets, were over $10 million. So I said, he has a lot of money, and he must be very happy with it. So I interviewed him, and he gave me a cup of tea while we were talking. I said, tell me, leave other points aside. Let's take the money issue. You said money makes you happy. Are you happy with your money? He said, not at all. I said, why not? 10 million is a lot of money. He said, do you know? That's what he told me. Do you know, I went to the same school where you are. I got my PhD degree from there, became a doctor in economics. And then I became a CEO of a company. And all that several years of study I put in to make a net worth of $10 million. Look at the bloke living next to me. He never went to school. He's got 20 million. How can I be happy? His happiness was depending on somebody else. I noticed this, that we do not have our happiness based upon what we have. Our happiness is compared to what others have. So we have made our happiness itself dependent on outside factors, not inside factors. Because we are constantly looking for happiness outside. On the other hand, if we looked for happiness inside and accepted the value of what we have, or if we must compare with people who have less than you, then you will be happy. That's one way of looking at it. If you compare your state with somebody who has less, if you compare your state with poor people in Ethiopia, in some parts of India, in the tribal regions of India, if you compare with them, see how much more we have, and we'll all be happy. With the very factors, sometimes we're comparing with people who have more and we are unhappy. So this happiness is a very relative thing. But those who are able to see the whole world as a show are always happy. Because then they compare themselves with those who do not know what the reality is, what the truth is. The moment you can find the truth within yourself, you are happier than everybody else. So therefore, I ultimately came to the conclusion that happiness is a state of comparison, and the higher awareness you have, the happier you get. the higher knowledge you have of the truth, of who you are, how this is being constructed, how this world comes into being, what is your role in it, why did you pick up a particular role in this show? When you come to know those things, you are very happy. So the happiness increases the more you know about yourself and more about the reality. So that is why everybody wants to be happy. So why not search for happiness within yourself? If you are happy inside, another thing happens, that you meet people, they also become happy. I once conducted another experiment. I told people that for 1 week, pretend you are happy. Do not tell anybody your sorrows, your unhappiness. Just tell them how happy you are, whether you are happy or not. Just for experiment, 1 week spend everywhere you go and laugh and smile and tell them how happy you are. Then we'll review what your position is after a week. When after 1 week they all came back, I said, how many happy people did you meet? Unanimously they said, everybody was happy we met. Why were they happy? Because you were happy. If you are happy, you spread happiness amongst others. If you are despair, depression and bad mood and something, you meet people with bad moods. There is a book called The Secret, and it says that there's a law of attraction. If you are happy, you attract happiness. And if you are sad and morose, then you attract sadness and moroseness. If you attract, of course, it goes on to say, whatever you want really, you can get it. Supposing you say, I want $1 million, I want 1 million brush marks. Supposing I want to be rich, and this you have a steady thought in your head, according to the book, you'll get it. Actually, nobody has got it. That's one of the flaws in the book. Because there's a fine print which nobody reads. The fine print says that you should not only want that you should have $100 million or whatever you want, you should also believe you have it. And there should be unshakable faith that you have it. Nobody can have that unshakable faith unless you have really gone within. The only people who actually got their money from the law of attraction were the authors of that book. They got it. They wrote the book, they got it. I remember once a man gave a little ad in a newspaper. The ad said, you send us $1 and we'll give you a secret of how to make $1 million. The total secret we can give you if you just send $1. Oh, they got a big response. Everybody wanted the secret. And to every person, and they collected $1 million. Just by that little 1-inch ad in the paper. And then they gave the advice how to make $1 million. They said, put an ad in the paper. So you see, sometimes these tricks work, sometimes they don't work. But the real thing is that happiness is something, a state of ourselves inside. When we are within ourselves, we are happy. When we find out this is a great show taking place, we are happy. When we come to know why we have taken a certain position. Let me clear this up. The difference between a movie, which we see on a screen, and this movie we call life, is that in the movie that we see on the screen, we are not in the screen. We are sitting in an audience. So we are constantly more aware of being separate. Our awareness is high because we are not in the movie. Though we take it as real, we are not part of it. In this movie, we have taken a part in the movie itself. We have taken one character and placed ourselves in the character and not outside. If we were sitting outside the movie, we could easily see the movie of life very clearly. But since we are sitting in one of the characters in the movie, and we identify with that character, therefore we cannot see this movie. There is a book, The Canterbury Tales, written by a poet named Geoffrey Chaucer. great novelist, great poet. In fact, Geoffrey Chaucer is considered the father of modern novel. Modern novels are different from the old books because the old books, once upon a time there was a king, all kings were the same. After that one book, the new kings were, he was a very kind king, he was an unkind king, he was a jealous king. All the characterization came after that novel. So that book is very important in English literature. So in that book, Chaucer, who is the author of the book, writes about 40, 50 pilgrims going to Canterbury in England. And as the trip was long, there was no easy way of going. People were on foot, on horseback, on little carriages. So they were going slowly, and in order to while away the time, while they were on the way to Canterbury, they were telling stories to each other. They were singing songs to each other, just like a party going on, and they entertained each other. So during that journey that's going through, everybody tells some story. Some come up with beautiful poems. Some come with beautiful songs. It's all written by Chaucer. Then Chaucer says he was also in the party. And he's also going along. So the other characters then tell him, Chaucer, you are a great poet. You are a great novelist. Can you give us a nice poem? And he says, no, I don't know how to. I don't know poetry. The author of the whole book, the author of all the poems, as a character in the book says, I don't know poetry. Then they insist on him, no, we know you are a good poet. Come on, give us one of your poems. And then Chaucer gives the worst doggerel rhyme in the whole book. And everybody criticizes him. They all say, we expected better from you. Do you know who wrote this? Chaucer himself. Chaucer could have picked up the best role if he liked. Why did he pick up a role in which he was himself crucified and killed by his own creation? They compare this with Jesus Christ. Why, if he was one with the Father, one with the Creator, how come he was crucified by his own creation? Why did Chaucer, the author of the entire book, could have chosen any character to be inside that character, chose a character that could be criticized and ridiculed by his own creation? The answer is that although he placed himself in one of the characters, he was all the characters. He wrote all the characters. It is our situation. We create all the characters of this movie, and then we place ourselves in one character. And because we are in one character, we can place ourselves in any character. It makes no difference. So that is why, because we have placed ourselves, placed our true self inside one of the characters in this movie, and while we are a character, we don't realize. The moment we know we are the author of the entire thing, it becomes a movie. Now, I want to give you a simple way of how to move away from being a character and be an audience in this very movie, and then be happy, and then get to know it was just a show. The method to do this is that as a character, we are in a human body. The human body creates our character, gives us a name, gives us a role, gives us a life, a destiny. We are living our destiny as a human being in a human body. Now let us assume that we move ourselves from the human body into a separate place in the human body, say behind the eyes. Let us say, because our consciousness operates from behind the eyes, let's say we are sitting behind the eyes and are not the human being. Then behind the eyes, we are the audience. We are looking at the movie from inside, opening our eyes of the body to see outside. But we are not sitting outside, we are sitting inside, and then looking at the body, looking at the world, and looking at ourselves as one of the characters in a big play. If you can stabilize yourself and at all times have the awareness that you are sitting inside in a relaxed chair, not even moving, just watching the movie that's taking place outside of you, which includes your own body moving around, that the whole show is taking place and you are still inside, sitting in a relaxed chair, having a cup of coffee or tea and some popcorn maybe. If you believe you are sitting inside, watching the movie from there, the whole life will become a movie for you. You can move from being the character into being the author of that character and all characters, just by one step. The step being that you do not regard yourself as the human body, but just a character in the play, and you can sit comfortably where your consciousness is, from where you can think out, from where you can plan this thing. I am suggesting, let's plan to move from the body and move behind the eyes and sit there. We make our imaginary chair there. We place some nice cup of tea, some drink, our favorite drink. We sip on it and watch the movie. Do you know you can watch the movie from there, the whole life? If you can sustain that, the whole world will become a movie for you. It will become a drama. Of course, you will be affected by the drama. You like some parts of it, you won't like some parts of it, but you're not that character. Your body is just one character, along with the others, equally unreal. And that can actually happen if you can practice this thing. As it happens, that ability to place yourself behind the eyes and feel that you are there, and the body is merely one of the costumes or characters, this ability is also the starting point for an absolute journey to your true home. So you are going to kill two birds with one stone if you can do that. You can instantly change your attitude to the life by sitting there, and you can continuously now go forward within on your spiritual journey to your true home through several levels of consciousness. So this is a very good practice. That is why, if you want to be on the spiritual path, the very first step, which you must learn, is the ability to disassociate yourself and your identity with the physical body. And imagine, presume, work out, be aware of that you are sitting behind the eyes, a separate entity inside. And you're sitting inside in a body, in the head, and the body is around you, just created for your experience, and your real self is there, relaxing. Never running, never moving. You don't have to run, don't have to move, do nothing. Just watch the show from there. Very good first step. You look inside, you'll be so happy. You look outside, you'll be so happy. The best prescription I have for happiness. If you want to use that, use it, try it out. You want to try it now, we'll do it now. If you want. I promised yesterday we'll do some meditation today. Meditation starts from there. But before I start a little session of meditation with you, I like to do two short experiments. How many of you are meeting me for the first time today? Oh, so it's in order that you haven't seen those experiments. The first experiment is called the orange juice experiment. Many of you have heard of it. Some of you have done that with me. Let's do it now. In this experiment, we will assume, this is to enhance your power of imagination and make use of it to see how it works. In this experiment, we will imagine that our bodies are made of glass. They are hollow inside. Only the shell is our surface of our body. And it's a glass body. And we have to be careful now in this experiment. We don't move too much, just the glass can crack or break. We have to be very still in our chairs. And we have to be, whatever position you take, you have to be still on that. And then with your imagination, because the body is hollow, you will fill it up with orange juice. Starting from your feet and filling up your legs, filling up your torso, filling up all the way, filling up your arms and hands, and right up to the top of the head, you fill it up with orange juice. Now in this body, in the tips of the fingers of your hand, there are some valves which are holding the orange juice in. When you press the fingers, the juice escapes from the fingers. Similarly, you have valves in the toes of your feet. When you press the toes, the juice will escape. When the juice escapes, you'll be able to watch it going down. I will give you instructions from time to time what to do with it. So first close your eyes. Imagine that you are made of glass. and be very steady where you are sitting. Imagine you're made of glass, and this glass jar which you call your body, fill it up with orange juice starting from the feet. Fill it right to the top of your head. Keep your eyes closed till I count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes and welcome back. You will see every time I do these exercises, I rub my eyes, my hands and feet, because as you proceed with deeper meditation, you will become less and less aware of your body and go into what you are concentrating on, and when you get back to the body, it will help quickly to get back here by just rubbing a little on your knees, on your hands and feet. How many of you were able to successfully do this experiment? Very good, that's pretty good result. How many of you have difficulty doing this? Yes, not many. How many of you, after finishing the experiment, still had some orange juice sticking somewhere? Normally, if you know where it's sticking, it's a diagnostic tool. There's some problem there, health problem there. You also diagnose it through this experiment. What was the purpose of this experiment? The purpose was to show you how magnificent is the power of imagination and how powerful is your power of attention to go from point to point wherever I said, and you could take it. That's the wonderful thing, that we can imagine what we like and we can put our attention where we like. This experiment proved that. These are the only tools we need for good meditation. Now, we'll do one more experiment. And that in this experiment, once again, we will assume that this body of ours is not ourself, but a house we live in. It's a multi-story house. It's got 6 floors. The legs and the arms are merely attachments to the house. The main house is the torso of the body. And starting from the bottom, based on the different energy chakras we have, the energy centers we have, the 6 centers we have. At the bottom, the genitals, the navel, the heart, the throat, the eyes. We have the 6 levels, 6 floors of the house. We are sitting on the 6th floor behind the eyes. Nice floor at the 6th floor. When we close our eyes, we can see that we are on the top, our different floors of the house are below us. There's an elevator at the back, in the spine. We can go by the elevator to any floor we like. There are also steps going on the side, where we can go by steps or by elevator to any floor we like. But we are right now at the 6th floor. There are many experiments that I can conduct with you about the use of the elevator and the steps. But right now, I'm only confining to one experiment on the 6th floor of your house behind the eyes. It's a nice floor. Make it a hard floor. You can reinforce it. Put a nice rug or carpet on it. Decorate it. And if you see any windows or walls, you can put any pictures, paintings. It's a nice place. And I want you to do that today, because the more attractive you make this hall, make this little room on the 6th floor of your house called the human body, the more effective your meditation will be. The more you'll be attracted to go there. So once you make it a nice place, sit in the center of that hall. Sit in the center with a little chair, table on your side. Have a nice comfortable chair. The best chair that you ever dreamt of. Get it today, because it's imaginary and free. So take the chair, put it in the center of your head, and have a nice table like this. And like these flowers, you put a vase of flowers next to you. Any kind of flowers you like. And then you have a drink. Need not be water. It can be any drink, your favorite drink. Also have a little plate next to you with your favorite snacks. So once you have these, I'll give you further instructions what to do with these things. So close your eyes and imagine you are on the 6th floor of your own house. And you are in the center of the house and you pulled the chair and you're sitting in it. If the chair is too much in front, push it back. Keep it to the center. Between the ears, behind the eyes, in the center between the two eyes. Right in the center and sit on that chair. Look on the right side and see your little table and see that you have flowers, a drink, and a snack lying on it. Stay in the center. Now pick up the flowers from the table and bring them in front of you. Look at the flowers very carefully. Look at their color. Have you seen these flowers before? Turn the flowers around. Look on the other side. Have you seen these flowers before? Have they changed on the other side? Is there something very strange about these flowers? Now bring them to your nose and smell. What kind of fragrance do you see? Have you ever had this fragrance before? Are these your favorite flowers with your favorite fragrance? Smell it again. See what kind of fragrance the flowers have. Now take the flowers a little further away and look at them again. Have they changed or are they still the same? Have you seen such flowers before? Put the flowers back on the table. Now pick up your drink and look at the cup, the container, the glass. And look at the drink. What color is it? Draw it to your mouth and take a sip. Do you recall this sip? Do you recall this taste before? Take another sip. Check out what the taste is like. Do you remember this taste? Put the glass back on the table. Now pick up that plate of snacks. Pick up the snacks and bring it in front of you and look at the snacks. Are these your most favorite snacks? Take one bite. Look at the taste. Take one more bite. Take this taste again. Put the plate back on the table. And keep your eyes closed till I count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes. Welcome back. How many of you could do this successfully? How many of you see flowers? How many of you saw flowers changing their color? Very good. Were you surprised that they changed color? Because normally flowers don't change colors. None of you seem to be surprised. How many of you could smell the flowers? How many of you could recognize the fragrance? How many felt there was a new fragrance? Never had before. So many of you. How many of you were able to taste the drink? How many of you liked it? How many of you thought it was intoxicating? How many of you could recognize your favorite drink? How many of you thought it was new? So many of you. How many of you could taste the snack? How many of you felt it was good snack? How many of you still have the taste of the snack in your mouth? Wonderful. The power of imagination, what did it create? It gave you an example that seeing, touching, tasting, smelling, hearing, nothing of these depends on these sense perceptions on the body. That you carry them even without the body. None of these things were real, but you had a real experience with them. Not only that, you also had different experience. How many of you saw something during this experiment which you never expected? So many of you. This is because you are not picking up what your mind was thinking and picking up, you're picking up from a different world, which we call the astral world. This experiment was an astral experiment. I want to demystify this idea that astral plane is somewhere far away. It's with us all the time. All our sense perceptions are working from the astral plane. When we confine them to our physical body, we confine them to physical experience outside. When you release them from that, we are able to have a much larger experience. We just had that experiment just now. The main thing that I wanted to introduce during this experiment was your ability to sit on the 6th floor of this house of yours. Because if you are able to make that a wonderful place for meditation, you'll be successful. If you meditate outside, you are always attached outside. My friends invite me to their house. They show me, this is our special chair for meditation. There's a special corner of the house, we made our temple. That's where we meditate, that's where we worship. Do you know, when you worship on a special chair, you're meditating on the chair. How can you avoid it? When you have a special place to meditate in your house, you're meditating in the house. When you have a special room in your building, outside building, and say, this is my meditation chamber, you are meditating on that building, on that house. So it takes a very long time to concentrate your attention. On the other hand, if this is your room in the head in which you are meditating, it's a jump start toward meditation. And that's why it's so important that if you really want to have effective meditation, meditation with results, you should start from there. That you start with your entering the meditation chamber and the 6th floor of your house and sit in the center and start meditating. Now we are ready to meditate. And to meditate, we'll go and sit right in the center of our meditation chamber in the 6th floor of our house, which we think a body is. A body is our house in which we live. So we go to the 6th floor and we sit there and we meditate there. We don't meditate with the body. We meditate with our inner self, our astral self that sits behind the eyes. We start our meditation from there. That's a big jump start on meditation. So when we start from there, many things will happen. And let's see what you can experience. Now, meditation is the art of concentrating your attention. That's what it is. If you can concentrate your attention on being there, only what you experienced a little while ago, that you are there in your head, and that's where the whole thing is happening. Do you know the table was there, the flowers were there, everything that happened was there. Nothing was outside. It was all happening inside. If you start your meditation there, you concentrate on being there. That's all. So long as you can hold yourself there, a new world will open up for you. A new sky will open up for you in which you can fly. Nothing more. Let's try. Let's try and go and focus and on the very idea, not on a picture, not on an image, but the very idea of being there ourselves, that we are up high, up in the body, inside the 6th floor, sitting right in the center, and if anything happens, Supposing you see some colors, some lights, ignore them. Don't go after them. Supposing you hear some sounds, ignore them. Don't run after it. Anything that comes, stay in the center and watch, stay in the center and listen, and do not move from the center. If you can steady yourself in the center, a lot of things will open up. That's the beginning of meditation. Let's try it. Close your eyes. Once again, since it's a house, be still. If the body moves, the house moves, then you lose your concentration of being in the head at the eye center. Be still in your body and go into the meditation chamber behind the eyes in the center of the head, which you already decorated with a nice carpet, and put a nice chair or a nice rug or a nice pillow, whatever you like to sit on, and sit in the center. Forget everything now except what is there. Think of nothing else except what is around you there where you are sitting. Only think about that place where you are sitting. No thought of outside, no need to remember anything else except you are sitting there. See where you are sitting. Concentrate on that. How many of you could do it? Very good. I noticed that you were making a very serious face when doing this, both inside and outside. That's not necessary. You should be smiling. You should be laughing and smiling at what's going on. When we do next time, please smile, keep a smile, not on this face necessarily, on the one inside. It's not a tense situation. Secondly, what I noticed was some of you were putting too much pressure on your head and on your eyes. That's not necessary at all. When you had a drink and the snack, you had no tension at all on the head. Then why are you putting tension now? This exercise, meditation, has nothing to do with any head pressures or eye pressures. It's an imaginary exercise. You imagine you are there. We are taking our awareness, consciousness there, not any bodily, physical thing there. Relax. Your head, your body should be relaxed. And you should just be there, smiling, comfortable in the center. Makes it very easy. So this is one point you should remember. Don't put any stress on these eyes to do anything. It's not a physical exercise at all. A mistake we sometimes make for many years. People are doing that, having headaches. They get headache from meditation. Actually, headache is relieved if you really meditate properly. If you sit properly without putting any pressure on your eyes or head, but just imagine you are there, imaginary. Then your attention is drawn there without any problem on the body. Another thing, how many of you were still thinking of other things when you were doing this? Almost all of us, yes, I know. That's the problem. Main problem of meditation is this, what we just talked about, that we still think of other things while I am going on saying, don't think of anything else, only think of what is happening there. Thoughts still come. And thoughts come in words. So that is why we introduce the next step. Step 1 is to be able to fully sit yourself there. Step 2 is how to prevent other thoughts from coming in. And that is the role of a mantra or a simran or repetition of words. So you repeat words while you're sitting there. It prevents your mind from thinking of other things. But the mind is not that simple, you know. Mind is very clever. When you repeat words, the mind can still think of other things. Have you ever noticed that? That you can be repeating words, mind is still thinking, are you doing it slowly? Are you doing it fast? Whose voice is that? Also your mind. Therefore, don't get into that trap of the mind that you are repeating words, the mind is still thinking of other things. If you hear another voice, Do your Simran, your meditation, your repetition with 2 voices. If you hear 4, with 4 voices. If you see a person coming in while you're doing to distract you, don't try to push the person away. Let the person join in your repetition. Everything should repeat. All voices, all beings, all persons that you can see, all are participating in the repetition of words. How many of you have a mantra or a Simran to repeat, some magical words to repeat? How many of you don't have? Now, those who don't have any words, for the sake of this experiment, coin a short phrase. A short phrase expressing your love for your beloved. A short few words by which you express your love for your beloved. And keep on repeating those words, expressing your love, and keep on repeating. That will be a temporary mantra for today. So coin your own mantra for today. So we all are going to use that mantra which we have or which we are coining up. And when we sit there in the center, we make sure that we only either concentrate on being there or repeat those words from the voices of the mind, not this tongue. We don't repeat with this tongue. Only with the one sitting behind the eyes, which is repeating with the mind. So if you can do that successfully, you achieved step 2 very successfully. Let's close our eyes and go back there and start. Keep your eyes closed till I count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes and welcome back. How many of you could do this? Oh, the number has increased. Very good. I'm very happy. How many of you kept smiling? This time, good. How many of you are enjoying this session? Very good. See, normally meditation is a boredom, but I want to make it so wonderful. And it will be even better when we go to the next steps. Now, the next step, which I'm going to practice with you, is how to fly in the sky. How many of you would like to do that? Very good. We go back to the same place there. And this time, from the center where you are sitting, you'll be able to look around and see that your chamber has windows, which are lighted up compared to the rest of the chamber. And you'll be able to move to the window and fly out and sky. And I'll guide you further about it. So let's try that experiment also. Close your eyes. Go back to your meditation chambers again on the 6th floor of your house. Be in the center and steady yourself in the center. And then from the center, look around. You see that your walls around have some bright spots, some like windows which are lighted up and some are not. They can be on the right side, on the left side, can be in front. Wherever you see a clear opening, like a lighted place, move towards that. And see the sky outside. You can easily crawl through that place and go out. Fly. You are weightless. Fly in the sky. Fly high. Go as high as you can. Fly upwards. And keep your eyes closed till I count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes. Welcome back. How many of you could fly? Very good. These sessions I'm having with you are very short sessions. They are just examples of what can be done. If you give sufficient time to each of these, you can have a very steady experience of all of these things. Now, something has been missing. All we are doing is a very mechanical exercise. This mechanical exercise can give you out-of-body experiences, flying in the sky, all kinds of experiences. It will not take you to your true home. All these are mind make-up things. And we can one day discover even this whole world is mind make-up thing. And these are obviously mind make-up things because we take our body as real still. And these are just experiments we are doing in the head. But what is missing is that power, that force, which can take you above the mind. And that is the power of love and devotion. Without that, meditation is hollow. All the things we are doing are hollow. Without love and devotion. Ultimately, love and devotion alone will take us. How many of you have a master or a guru in your life? So you have somebody that you can express your love and show your devotion. Devotion can be shown in many ways. We normally, I would like to fall on the feet of my master. It's an old tradition, Indian traditional thing. There are many other ways to express, to talk about it, to thank the master for what he is giving us, to look at things that are around us, how much he's given, to look at this opportunity, to go to a true home and to thank him for that. Gratitude is a great way. Gratitude, thankfulness is a great way to express devotion. So this element was missing in what we were doing. Let's put this element into it. Let's go back into a meditation chamber and have a meeting with our masters, have a meeting with our beloveds, and express our love and devotion, and our devotion particularly while we are there. It will make a big difference to meditation and to the results of meditation. Let's try that now. Let's go back to the 6th floor. And those who don't have a master, but they love somebody, put their beloved in front of you at this time and express your love for that person. Those who have a master or a guru, do that to your guru. So let's see how much love and devotion we can express during a short session in our meditation chamber on the 6th floor. Close your eyes, go back there again. And imagine your masters, your beloved is in front of you. And you have a chance now to express your love and devotion. If your mind runs, start the mantra all over again. And when it doesn't run, express your devotion. Talk, stay inside. Don't go anywhere else except stay inside this chamber. Talk to your master. Talk to your beloved. Have a conversation. Keep your eyes closed till I have counted 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes. Welcome back. How many of you could do this one? How many of you enjoyed this one? That's the way to meditate. We have, of course, missed out on another thing, which leads to higher meditation. All these are very good as a preparatory steps to take you within, to show you where you have to go, which is the starting point. How deeper and deeper you go, the longer you stay at the third eye center, the more you forget that, the more your inner self will come up. And then next step will be to meditate within the inner self by sitting inside and going into the head of the inner self, the very self that try to fly out, the very self that is now talking to the master, that very self of yours can also meditate within itself. Next step will be that, then you can go to still higher stages. It's a continuous process like that. And ultimately, it will take you to areas where you can see your destiny being made. You can see the functioning of your mind without sense perceptions, where you can see time and space collapse. Lot of immense experiences, some of it which can be frightening if you get too quickly. So that is why my recommendation is, if you are serious meditators, take it easy, step by step. Take it slow. No need to hurry. No need to be impatient on this. Because we have waited several lifetimes for this opportunity. And to take a few short years is not too much for this thing. But do it steadily, each step being gained fully. You're fully satisfied, you can stabilize that place whenever you want, then move to the next one. You'll make more progress that way. What we are missing is the resonance of our own self, the sound of our own self, which we haven't touched upon yet. That when we put our attention there, you concentrate it there, you can hear many sounds, not external sounds, but internal sounds. These sounds can be of many kinds. They can be like a whistling sound, they can sound like a breeze coming through, it can be like a sound of a roar outside, like a thunder, it can be sound like drums beating, it can be sound like crickets chirping, it can be sound of bird chirping, it can be sounds of little bells ringing, it can be sound of big bells ringing, it can be sound of the echo of a bell ringing, it can be the sound of a continuous flute playing, it can be sound, many kinds of sounds. A whole bunch of sounds is also in us. The more you concentrate your attention, the many of these sounds will start appearing. You can listen to these sounds and play with them, moving from one to the other. Some sounds will look very close to you, some will look at a distance from you. You can first listen to the sounds that are very close to you. Then you can shift to the sounds that are further away from you. And as you move with the sounds, some of the sounds will have a pull which will take you, automatically pull your attention faster from the body and put you right there than other sounds. So pick up those sounds which are pulling you. Now that is another system, and that is ultimately going to make your withdrawal of attention faster than your own trying to repeat the words or trying to pull your attention there or pretending that you are sitting there, imagining you are sitting there. These are like two different methods. I liken them to a rear-wheel drive car and a front-wheel drive car. A rear-wheel drive car pushes the car forward. The engine is loaded so that it pushes the car. Front-wheel drive pulls the car. When we do repetition of words, try our best to put there, imagine we are there, we are pushing ourselves in. When the sound comes and pulls us, we are being pulled up there. Ultimately, it's the love and the sound that will pull us finally. Ultimately, love and sound pulls us all the way through. Sound keeps on changing. It becomes a non-sound. It becomes a resonance. Then it even doesn't remain a resonance, just a very big force, creative force that pulls us through. So when we want to go above the mind, only this resonance and the love and devotion we are expressing will take us. No other method will take us beyond that. Other methods we are using is only to reach that threshold from where we can move forward. So this is a process which is all natural. All of us have it. All of us have it. Let's try once more to see if we can hear any sounds, because that will be a good starting point for you to practice sound as well as practicing other forms of drawing your attention inside. Close your eyes once again and go back to the center. And listen carefully for any sound that comes from within yourself, from any direction, right, left, or above. And see if there is any sound in a variety of sounds. Move from one to the other. Try to pick and choose one or the other and see if one of them is more pulling than the other, and follow that and see if it pulls your attention to third eye center faster than other sounds. Keep your eyes closed till I count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes. Welcome back. How many of you could hear the sounds? Oh, very good. These sounds are of many kinds, and many of them are coming from physical body. Some are coming from the astral self, and some of them come from right within our own core of ourself. And these sounds radiate from different sides. Ultimately, You can hear any of the sounds for practice. The practice of listening to sound is a good practice. Eventually, when the sound that actually pulls you and makes you feel, takes you off your feet as it were, is a sound that comes from the center of your own self. It will be coming either in the middle or look like it's coming from the top in this area. It comes like this, right from the middle. The other sounds are practice sounds which come because of the nature of our brain being divided into intuitive self on the right and the rational self on the left. It is recommended that you, if you only hear a sound from the sides, you can hear both sides, then you can hear more on the right side, which is more intuitive self, and that's more of your soul and less of your mind. So if you hear more on the left side, still sound of the mind. You can hear it if you don't hear any other sound. But as soon as you can hear sound on the right, shift to that. When you hear in the center and above, give up those and just concentrate on the sound that come in the center. It's a practice that one can do. It needs some practice, I must say. It's not a one-day affair. And our mind has been so scattered and has been so spread out in this world that we do need time. Actually, they say even one lifetime is too short for something like this to happen. But we have a great opportunity. Some of us have worked in past lives also towards this, and now just carrying on from there to make further progress. So as you move on this pathway, you will find the truth within yourself. I want to pause at this moment because I said in the beginning there are a lot of people wanting one-on-one personal interviews. This afternoon I'll devote to that instead of having a general talk. And tomorrow I'll see you again in the morning, have a review and do more meditation with you. Right now I'd like to take up any questions. If you have written up any questions, and did you get a chance to write on small pieces of paper? And if you have any questions, who is holding the questions? And if you can read the question and then give it to me, I might reread it and then I'll try to answer the question. Is awakening written in our life program and we are just playing the role of getting there? The answer is yes. It depends where we are to see what is written. When we are here, nothing is written because we are making our own life. The moment you step up to the higher level, you will find it is all written. If you make a divine change there, you go to next higher step, even divine change was written. At the end you find that we in our totality wrote everything. So we are the creator of our destiny, but not here. We created it when we had the power to create it, when we had the totality of consciousness to create total destinies for all times, for all people. At that time we wrote the destiny of the individual in which we are sitting today also. So yes, everything is written up. There is a contradiction in the question which says, if everything is pre-written, why should we struggle in meditation? If everything is pre-written, isn't struggle also written? Yes, even struggle in meditation is pre-written. So when we say everything is pre-written, it does not mean some part of it is left to us here and the rest is written up. That is not everything. Everything is pre-written means our struggle, our seeking, our wanting to do things, our thinking about it, how to do it, our making choice to do it is all pre-written. When you go there, you will see that all this is pre-written. But don't separate that if everything is pre-written, why should I do that? Because your why doing it is also pre-written. Your questioning why you should do that is also pre-written. How exactly, please, is the punishment or effect if someone commits suicide? Committing suicide or committing any crime in society, the standards are laid down by society. There is no absolute standard for anything. All moral codes as well as legal codes have been made up by us in societies in this physical world, this physical drama that's going on. There is nothing that has been sanctioned from somewhere else. We have created the sanctions and put them as moral codes here and legal codes here. So when we say this is wrong, we made it wrong and embedded that wrong in our subconscious mind or in the part of the mind that we call conscience. And we are creating our guilt and our desire for reward based upon what we have placed there. Suicide, we have ourselves created as something wrong. Why? Because there is a possibility of a notional life extending, and we ended before time. Therefore, it was wrong. So we made it wrong, and that is, of course, the legal punishment is the only crime, I am told, in the whole law book, in the whole criminal law book, the only crime where you can be punished if you attempt to commit the crime, but you cannot be punished if you commit the crime. Otherwise, you are always punished more by committing a crime. Attempt to commit is less punishable. This is the only crime which you can be punished if you attempt to commit it, and you cannot be punished if you commit it. So suicide is considered like that in law. What about the moral side? We think it is wrong to take your own life, and almost like taking somebody else's life. That means you're shortening the possibility of having time over here to do several things, including meditation and going back home. You're cutting out that opportunity. What happens to the person? Now we're talking of the metaphysical side or the spiritual side. What happens to a person who commits suicide? In physical and astral terms, the physical body is killed. The astral body was supposed to have a notional or predetermined life, which was to continue. Therefore, the life in the astral form continues. Only the physical life ended. So that person who commits suicide, his disembodied spirit continues to be here, continues to be where it was supposed to be, until the notional time, the predetermined earlier time, tied up with the astral body, comes to an end, then it stops. During this period, the person who has committed suicide is in a disembodied state, has no physical body, but still there in the form of a disembodied spirit, which we in India call bhoot or pret or ghost, becomes a ghost. So ghosts are of two kinds. One we call bhoot, which means the one that run around, roam around because they couldn't complete what they wanted to do in life, and now the disembodied still want to do that. So they run from place to place. And the other ones are called pret, which means who are fixed at one place, especially when a suicide is committed because of a particular condition, or a murder is committed, or unnatural death takes place. The disembodied spirit stays at the same place for a long time, as long as the rest of the astral life was still there. So therefore, from the spiritual point of view also, you cannot make any progress, you cannot go anywhere, you're tied down for the rest of the life which you are supposed to have had. So this is the punishment or effect of suicide. This is a question about karma. How can we explain the sudden mass loss of lives of apparently innocent people, say in plane crashes, natural disasters, etc.? There are mass karmas also, and mass karmas lead to mass results over here. Mass karma is when a tyrant kills thousands of people at once. What do happen to them? It's a mass effect. And the mass effect carries on, and next time such people will have an effect of being executed in a mass way with many others. The law of karma operates in a balanced punishment or reward based on what you have done. It need not be exactly the same thing, but the effect you experience is like that you are being killed along with so many others because you killed so many earlier. So the effect, it does not mean that you have to have the same people, that you create the experience of mass killing, being mass killed, and become part of a big mass disaster or something. Also, in some of these instances, we are finding, for example, in a plane crash. A plane crash is like any other accident, is like any other sudden death before time. So the same law applies there. There can be a plane crash up in the sky, and the astral forms will still keep on flying. They will not feel they died. Even when we die in physical body and our astral form steps out, it is just looking like this one, we don't feel we are died. Nobody feels you are dead. You can see your body dead. You're still alive. Because the life of the astral form is much longer than the life of the physical body. So in plane crashes, sometimes the experience of the disembodied spirit to keep on flying goes on. There was an explosion in one of the spaceships, and several astronauts were flying. They're still flying. Because for them, there was no explosion. Only the physical part was destroyed immediately, and they kept on in the astral form. So therefore, this kind of karma is very strange, that we are able to have similar experiences, what we created with our intentions. Karma is created with our intention, not necessarily with our action. Supposing your action is accidental. Somebody asked me, if I accidentally hit somebody, what karma am I going to pay back for that? You're not paying back anything. You are already paying back now by accidentally hitting somebody. That guy hit you earlier. Because you have no intention to hit and you are accidentally doing something, it's a payoff. It's not creating a new karma. New karma is created when you intentionally do something new. Love and devotion is a great game. In fact, it's a great thing. In fact, it's the secret of spiritual progress. Without love and devotion, you cannot cross the mind and you cannot cross to your true home. So love and devotion is the spiritual way. That's the spiritual path of love and devotion. All the rest need to prepare for the threshold where you can experience it. So far as humor is concerned, the moment you will sit here as an audience and look at this show, you will feel so amused and you will laugh at it automatically. The higher you go, the more you laugh at what is around you. I am quite sure the creator, ultimate creator, had a great sense of humor to be able to create what has been created. I said to you earlier, keep smiling, because humor is so important. I always say there are 8 senses we have. 5 senses of perception. Seeing, touching, tasting, smelling, hearing. 5 senses of perception. 6th sense is perhaps more important to make us a human being than the 5 senses, and that is the intuitive sense, intuition. Intuition can give you more knowledge sometimes than the 5 senses. 7th sense is even more important than intuition, and that's called common sense. It's very uncommon, but still it's common sense. Common sense is the ability we have which distinguishes between the grain and the chaff, distinguishes between what is important and what is not. It lays down our priorities in life. When we have common sense, we say this is unimportant, trivial, and we ignore it, and the more important we pick up. That's common sense. Common sense has a very big effect on our lives, and if we employ it carefully and we employ our priorities correctly, our life changes. So common sense is very important. The 8th sense is more important than all of them. Sense of humor. The ability to laugh. The ability to be amused. The ability to see things from a positive side. The ability to see things could always be worse than they are. The ability to see the most positive side of life. That is the power of the sense of humor. And therefore, humor is very important. And sometimes people tell me, you don't tell us sufficient jokes in your talks. Now add a few jokes once in a while. You know that. It is good to cry anytime. Crying is helpful. When you cry with tears, I cry 2 times. So far as I can recall in my life, I cry on 2 occasions. One when I tell a joke and I can't laugh. I try to prevent laughing on my own joke, tears come into my eyes. Second time I cry is when I watch a movie. Every movie I watch, there are some scenes I start crying. My kids come, sometimes go with me, and they carry extra handkerchiefs, so I can use them for wiping tears. In real life, I've never cried. In real life, I don't need to cry. The crying comes natural to us in many ways. It is not a bad thing to cry. To cry out of your love for somebody, to cry out of your passion, to cry in meditation for your love and devotion for the Master. It's a good sign. To cry, to get your emotions out, to unload something heavy, emotional heavy on you by crying and getting it off is good. So therefore, I don't say that crying in meditation is anything bad, so long as crying with that kind of good emotion. Is anger function of soul or mind? As often when we are angry, we can't think. Similarly, we can't think when we love. No, there's a big difference between the two. Anger is a function of the mind, and love is a function of the soul. There's a big difference in the two. Anger is one of the factors which prevents us from concentrating our attention. The functions of the soul are pure love, intuition, appreciation of beauty, period. All others are functions of the mind. The mind functions reasoning, trying to argue, trying to debate, trying to find conclusions, trying to put things together, trying to be angry, trying to be overwhelming, trying to do one-upmanship on others, trying to fight. All those are part of the functions of the mind. So the mind is creating these things. When you are angry, not only can you not think properly, you can't meditate. When you are lustful, you can't do it. When you are jealous, you can't do it. When you are possessive, you can't do it. When you are full of your ego and I-ness, you can't do it. All these things are functions of the mind, and they prevent you from good meditation, they prevent you from becoming calm. On the other hand, if you are successful in meditation, all these things become less and less. As your mind comes under control, all these things become less and less. People ask me, how do we know if we are making progress in our spiritual path? Can we always judge our spiritual progress by what visions we have inside, by what we can see inside, how far we can fly inside? Not at all. That's only one side. Internal progress is one side, which is automatically followed by external progress. The more progress you make inside, the more progress you will make outside. Your anger will become less. Your lustfulness will become less. Your possessiveness will become less. Your attachments will become less. All these things will happen simultaneously, inside and outside. Sometimes you may see more of these things outside than inside. Sometimes you may see nothing inside, and still you are making great progress in all these things outside. Why would that happen? If both are balanced, if you are making good progress inside and outside, how come you don't see anything inside? And things outside are obviously not only changing, people are telling you, you become a very different person. You used to get so angry, what has happened to you now? You used to be so much possessive of things, trying to collect, you are now so detached. What is happening to you? The outside can sometimes overwhelm even the inside because of our karmic obligations. Karma brings a lot of obligations to us. We have to do our work, take care of families, raise kids, do many duties which are created by karma. All those require the same attention that we are trying to put inside. So in order to put the attention to carry out these things while we are making spiritual progress, very often we are blindfolded inside, so we can carry out these outside. I'll tell you a true story of my own master's master. Baba Sawan Singh was my master. His own master was Baba Jamal Singh. And Baba Jamal Singh, when he was not a master but a disciple, his master was one Swamiji living in Agra, the founder of Radha Swami, as they call it. And the Swamiji was living at a distance. In those days, it was very far off. Agra was very far off from Punjab, where my master's master, Baba Jamal Singh, lived. One day, Baba Jaimal Singh felt very strongly that he wants to see his master, missing him. So he wrote a letter. He said, "Beloved master, I am missing you so much. I want to come and see you instantly. I don't know where it is. Day and night I think of you. I am missing you. Please give me permission to come and see you." After a month, mail was very slow in those days. After a month, a reply comes back. "My beloved son Jaimal Singh, I am very happy to know that your soul is roaming around in the higher regions." Jaimal Singh said, "My soul is going nowhere. This must be somebody else. And letter has been misplaced into my address." So he wrote a second letter. He said, "Master, my soul is roaming nowhere. I was just missing you and feeling I want to see you instantly. Then please let me know when I can come and see you." Another letter comes after a month. "My dear son Jaimal Singh, I am very happy to know that your soul is having great journeys in the higher Khand Brahmans, having great journey in higher regions. And so far as coming to see me is concerned, come next month, in the first week, I'll see you." Armed with these two letters, he goes to see his master. And he places them there in Agra. He says, "Master, you wrote these two letters to me about my soul roaming higher. My soul goes nowhere. I have never had any inner experience at all. It must be for somebody else." And Swamiji laughed and he said, "Let us go inside and meditate for a little while." So there were 10 or 15 people sitting outside. And Swamiji and Baba Jaimal Singh went inside and had about half an hour of meditation. Then they both came out. And then Jaimal Singh then Swamiji in the presence of others said, "Jaimal Singh, now tell me, was your soul roaming around in the Khand Brahman in the higher regions when I wrote those letters?" He said, "Yes, master, it was." Then Swamiji said, "I am not saying whether your soul was higher up in the region, the half an hour meditation we did. I am saying, was your soul roaming around months ago when I wrote those letters?" He said, "Yes, master, my soul was roaming around in higher regions 2 months ago." Then Swamiji addressed other people sitting there, marveling what is going on. He said, "Sometimes masters place blinders on our eyes inside, so that we can carry out the obligations of our karmic responsibilities outside. But the fact that you are missing your master so much, where is that coming from? How was I missing his master so much if there was no progress at all? How was I so keen to go immediately to see his master? Where was that coming from?" That only comes when you're making inner progress. So you cannot have those kinds of feeling of love and devotion growing in you if nothing is happening inside. So that is why it's not always necessary that the measure can be done from what you are seeing inside. It can also be seen from what is happening outside, what's happening to your feelings inside, and what's happening to events outside. So never make this impression, don't carry the impression unless you see something higher up in the inside, then only you are making spiritual progress. But when you will go inside in full consciousness, you will discover that when you were having those feelings long ago, that's when you were actually traveling inside, blindfolded. You did not see it. Now you can see that you were there even at that time. So that is why it's good to know that we make our progress both ways, inside and outside. Some we can see, some we cannot see. Also, some can skip certain experiences, not because they don't exist, but you speed up. It is not necessary for people to go through every experience. You can skip blindfolded over 3 stages and go to the top. There have been people who have suddenly realized their own true identity, their true spiritual identity of being total without having to go through any experiences. A lot of work has been done by us in past lives. And here we don't know how much we have done because we don't remember past lives. And that is why the experiences vary from each one of us. And some make bigger movement, some make less movement. But generally, there are many common features in these experiences, but not all of us experience it. If one does not have a living master, is it possible to experience the sound of the big bell and the sound current that pulls you up? Yes, you can. You could have had a master in your previous life. Supposing you had a perfect living master in your previous life, you did not complete your course, spiritual course, and are reborn, you are still ahead up to that point. And you can hear these sounds, you can hear the big bell, till you get reinitiated again. I don't want to talk about my experiences, but I want to tell you this. I was hearing the big bells when I was 4 years old. I was hearing lots of sounds till I got initiated. The day I got initiated, all sound stopped. People said sound starts when you get initiated. My sounds totally stopped after I got initiated. It took several years further. During the very years, I was the greatest skeptic, the great investigator, what is going on, and I couldn't have any sound. And then when I started all over again, the sounds came up again. So therefore, you can have, I've seen little children, they have their bell sound ringing right there. Not because they have no living master, because they had a living master in a previous life. What is the best way to please a PLM? The way is to please your beloved. How do you please somebody you love? The same way. You don't displease a perfect living master, but not going against his instructions. By doing something which pleases him, doing seva, doing service which pleases him, doing meditation regularly which pleases him, making an offering to him. You know, you can do seva or service in many ways. Generally, we recognize 3 kinds of seva or offering. One, you can offer a money donation for the work that a master does, because he is handling a lot of people, their logistical expenses, and you participate in that. That is seva. Easiest form of seva. Writing a check is the easiest form of seva. Anybody can do it. The next is physical seva, your physical body, that you work on something that is pleasing the master. You work on any project that is going on, or if master is traveling, you can help to carry a bag of his, you can help to do something else personally with your physical body. It's a great seva. But the third seva is the best and most important. The seva of offering your meditation as an offering, as a seva, and not doing it to get anything. If you meditate, say, Master, today's session is my seva, not for getting anything. I am going to meditate 1 hour today as my offering to you. It's the best seva. By the way, I must tell you, when you make a seva of the mind, this is called seva of the mind. One is seva of money, wealth, seva of body, this is seva of mind. When you offer your meditation as a seva, you get double benefit. Because while you are not expecting any results, results will come anyway. And yet it is an offering also. So you get double benefit by offering your meditation as a seva. And these are the things how you can please a perfect living master. Does every Akashic record contain a route back to Sachkhand? No. Some do, some don't. Some are so long drawn out, they end with the end of the universe. And some which souls that want to go back, pick up those destinies, pick up those things from the Akashic records, where there is a provision for going back to Sachkhand. We who are seekers are all those who chose that. Those who did not choose these special DVDs from the Akashic records, which they are playing out as lives now, they will stay on roaming around till what is called the dissolution of the whole universe, which is called paralaya. Paralaya means the whole thing dissolves at a certain time. Everybody goes back and are held in a certain state. The souls are held in a certain state. In paralaya, they are held at the top of Trikuti. And in Mahaparalaya, when even the mind is destroyed, all minds are destroyed, universal mind is destroyed, only the pure souls and the totality of consciousness stays, then they are all held back in Parbrahm, above top of the Parbrahm part. So those who understand these levels, and they have been described very well, they know where are these places where the dissolution and grand dissolution take us. Those who are not choosing those particular destinies from the Akashic records, they stay on in this cycle of birth and rebirth till those moments. But those who choose them, their route is already marked out as one of the lives later on, where they will find a perfect living master and go back. Intelligent, superior alien species. Are there alien species superior to humans out there in the universe? If yes, where do they fit in the scale of spiritual awareness levels? It depends on what is the definition of an alien. I moved from India to United States. I was given a card. It's an alien registration card. Immediately I became an alien. There was no difference between the aliens and myself. But I was an alien. I had an identification card to show I'm an alien. It depends on what is an alien. We call anything that is other than ourselves as alien. Even for us, a disembodied spirit moving around, if it could manifest and say something, we say an alien has spoken to us. One of us does not have a body, becomes an alien. Or there can be species of life living like human beings, but in other parts of this very universe, physical universe. And they are also aliens. We say that the aliens are trying to contact us, and we say we sightings of the UFOs, we are sighting of many things. One day the aliens will come. Somebody sent me a recording of a French man who has developed his mental faculties to talk to aliens. He says he can get messages from aliens, and he developed a special faculty. So he got a message from one alien, maybe a group of aliens, but he recorded it and sent me that record to listen to. In that the aliens said, we are ready to come to your planet, which means they are not on the planet, they are somewhere else. To come into your planet, and we are more advanced in certain things. Like if you all, a majority, wish in your own hearts that we come, we will come. We can read your minds. We have that power. But we will still like to come and be with you human beings in order to find a perfect living master to make spiritual journey. That was a very interesting part of the message. That these aliens who are more advanced in so many things, they can read our minds, are still saying you have to be human like us in order to have the free choice to be able to find a perfect living master and to go back home. So that's a part of the message which the Frenchman did not know anything about PLMs, who recorded this message. So people, we can make a lot of stories about aliens also, but all I can tell you is if you meditate and go within, on the astral plane, on the very plane where you had a little experience of flying with your imagination, let imagination take you to a level where you totally forget you are here. That whole body becomes real. If you fly with that, and you can fly as far as you like. I was encouraging you to fly high during the little experiment. When you fly, you can see all the universes of these galaxies itself. You will find the other universes existing like ours. That there are beings who are like human beings. Their laws of nature are different from our laws of nature. Again, not disclosing too much of my own experiences, I can tell you once I did get an experience of that kind, where I found the main difference was that we have no control over time in this universe, we have control over space. That means we can move from here to there, but we cannot move 1 hour ahead. Although time and space are the same, even science recognizes it, that time and space are the same. Time is merely an ordinate of space. We have no control over one of the ordinates of this very space in which we live. But we can move from here to there. We cannot move from now to then. They can move. And they have built into themselves the gadgetry necessary to go ahead in time, which we cannot do. And yet they are like us, human beings. It was very strange to see that somebody can be an hour ahead of you, like we can be a mile ahead of you while walking. We can walk and be a little ahead of you, then you can catch up with us by running. They can be moving ahead in time, and we can run. Their whole Experience changes because of this one factor. Many other factors that are different. But they are also human beings. And they also have masters. They also have seekers. They also have many other common things with us. So there are many civilizations, many areas where life exists. And that life, you could call them aliens. We do not have much contact with them yet. One day we may. We are improving in that area. Both science and spirituality are moving closer to each other. And one day we can have those experiences. What can I do to draw myself closer to the perfect living master who I have not yet met? Pray. Pray inside. Master, I haven't met you, but I'm waiting for you. I hear too many stories about you. I hear you exist. I am ready. I am seeking. Will you come? And he will come. But you may say, oh, he's just an ordinary guy. I am looking for a perfect living master. And then once again, same person will be coming again. And you discover that a very ordinary guy you are meeting is the perfect living master. As you interact more, the total unconditional love of that person will affect you, pull your soul. You say, who are you? And you say, he's your friend. He's the one you're waiting for. Perfect living master comes like that, through coincidences, through circumstances. And when we seek one, he comes. Our mind takes a little time to recognize. But once you recognize, then your relationship with the perfect living master is like anybody else's who is a perfect living master. So when you're waiting for a perfect living master, just seek within and call upon him. If you are ready, the perfect living master is there and will come if you seek within. Just ask for him, pray for him. When we have children who are mentally, physically impaired, how can we deal with this? It's a karmic thing again. Like several illnesses we have, several disabilities we have, several handicaps we have. These are handicaps that come because of past karma. Each individual has their own karma. Children have their own karma, we have our own karma. We are impacted by their karma because we had an interactive karma with them. That's why we became parents of those children. So we have to fulfill our karma, our obligation created by this karma, by taking as good care of them as we can. We cannot change their destiny, but we can fulfill our role in the destiny by taking the best care we can of them. And very often, the only care we can take of them is to give them love and support. And we cannot do more than that. If medical sciences can help, that's part of the karmic reasons why the medical support is available. And we give them that. Whatever best we can do for them, we do, that's pay off our karma. What they suffer or what they do not is their karma. So our attitude should be one of compassion, helpfulness and support in all cases. Why have many souls been created from the one supreme soul, God? Was God bored? As some religion states, this was led to cycle of birth and death. Why can it not just be stopped? Okay, if the God had a mind, I'm sure he's bored. If you are alone with a mind, you are bored. Fortunately, God doesn't have the mind. He created one, but he didn't have one. Therefore, he was not bored. Then what did he have that he still wanted to create the many? Love. He was love. God was love. And how did he experience love? By creating the many. By creating the many, then love became a real experience, a reality. Love became a reality by the one becoming the many. Love was part of God. Mind was not. Boredom was not, but love was. He created the many, for the many could experience love, and the love contains its own joy and bliss, nothing else contains. Therefore, when we say in our true home, the souls are singing and dancing, what are they experiencing? They are experiencing the bliss of love. They are experiencing that joy and bliss of love and appreciation of what they have. That's what they're experiencing. A very good reason for one becoming the many. The one was an essence of love. The many was an experience of love. So the many became there. Why did we then not stay there, stop there? Why did we then go into a life of mind and ups and downs, pain and pleasure? Was that necessary for love? Not at all. Then why did we create this? This was created as an illusion, like a dream state in which we had minds. And minds had anger, minds had boredom, minds had loneliness, minds had all these problems, and we created all these. Why? So that when we can stop this exposure to these kinds of things, we go back, we appreciate our love even more. If we don't have an opposite of something, we can never appreciate it. In fact, in this world, if there was no opposite of something, we would never experience it. Take example of light. If there was no darkness, we would never have seen this light. Supposing this light we are seeing right now was there all the time, whether we closed our eyes or opened our eyes, day and night this light was there, nobody would have known there is light. We would have not even called anything light. Now we are calling it because there is darkness to compare it with, an opposite of it. We are living in a creation of the mind with pairs of opposites. In our true home of love, there is no opposite. How do we appreciate it then? We appreciate it in a non-dual world, non-duality world. We create a world of duality. We experience duality, go back and make this a pair of opposite of that one. That is why they say the souls that never left our true home, we call them bunts in Indian literature. Those who came here had these awful experiences, some not too awful, but a lot of them very awful experiences here. When they go back, we dance even more than those dance and sing and enjoy. Our bliss is greater than theirs. And those bunts ask us, we are called hunts in the literature, the bunts ask the hunts, what is so special about you? You are also souls like us. And we tell them, you don't know what you are missing. You don't know what you are having. We are appreciating what we have. We couldn't have appreciated if we had never seen anything other than that. A very good justification for creating a whole world of duality. People ask, why was this world created? To create so much suffering and so much unhappiness. Why? In order to appreciate our true state, in our true home, which is permanent. This is temporary. Not only temporary, it's dreamlike. When you have a bad dream, nightmare, and you scream in the night, it's so bad, you get up, what do you say? Thank God it was a dream. That's exactly what we say when we reach our true home. Thank God the whole thing was just a dream, created for a greater appreciation of what we have. You said everything is a movie. Isn't it as well the unfolding of creation through a kind of illusionary witness? Yes, you can call it that way too. You can call it a movie, you can call it an illusion, you can call it a shadow play, you can use any words to show it's not real. It is something that is not real but looks real. It is something that's just created out of consciousness, inside, projected to look real outside. You can use any word, illusion, movie, unreal, shadow. Words don't matter. The real thing is that we did a great job, a very perfect job in making it look real. We added all the wonderful elements into this to make it look absolutely real. What were those elements? One, we blocked ourselves off. We don't know who we are. We think we are what we have created outside. A great point. Secondly, we have made laws governing this experience outside which are consistent with each other. And laws of gravity, laws of nature, laws of movement of planets, all the laws that govern this universe make this universe absolutely real. Then what did we make real? We put our same consciousness in the many we created as if they are totally independent, made them look different, made them speak different, make their voices different, make their thin impressions different, make their eyes different, made completely different beings in millions and billions of them on this one planet alone, and maybe uncountable in all the planets and all the universes we have created outside of the physical world. By making them so different, they couldn't be the same. They have to be real. So we put so much reality into it. This reality we created ourselves to have a real experience. We didn't want a shadow experience. We want a real experience. And we made reality. When we withdraw our attention and go inwards, we find another reality, equally or more real than this. Then we say, this was not real. It's like waking up from a dream. In the dream is real. It is so real that even when we say, I am dreaming, you are still thinking it is real. Because if it was not real, who are you telling? You are dreaming. People say, I felt in my dream, I was really dreaming. Okay, then what did you do? I told everybody there. Do you know we are dreaming? When you wake up, where are those everybody that you told? You are speaking the truth, that you are dreaming, but you didn't know the truth because you were not awake. We are now talking also of higher levels of consciousness. We are speaking the truth. We are not experiencing it. We are taking this as real. These are such strong elements that we created to make it real. Why did we make it real? We could have just put it on a screen and seen as a movie. Why? Because we can make screens and movie now and still enjoy them while we are real here. The reality has been created to intensify the drama. You know, you can go to a street show. In America, there are street shows, you can pay a quarter and a person will perform for you. Slapdash comedy. But when you have real shows, real drama, $175 for a ticket to get it, to see those acting people, there they act like they're really that. There was a movie shot called Gandhi, where Ben Kingsley, a British actor, played Mahatma Gandhi of India. He, in an interview, told us, in India, he told us that he did not allow the film crew to shoot the movie for 3 months, while he every day felt he was Gandhi, he was Gandhi. When he felt he was Gandhi, he said, now shoot. And the picture was very nice, got awards, because he does act like Gandhi. Why did he do that? Because we want to see the movie which looks as real as possible. And imagine, look at this movie. It's as real as can be possible. It's totally real. We made it totally real. And then the actors have to remember their parts. There's script given to them. They memorize it and then they speak it out. But they still know it's a script we have remembered. Look at this movie. All of us are going strictly according to the script without even knowing we are remembering it. Without even knowing that the memory is playing up and creating our scripts and we are just acting exactly on scripts. How could you make it more real than this? I think we've done a terrific job to create a reality. We did not create illusion. We used illusion to create reality. And not one reality. Several levels of realities. The physical reality, dream-like reality. Wake up, dream become dream. Physical reality becomes real. Wake up to the next level of the astral plane, that becomes totally real. Physical reality becomes a dream. Wake up to the next level, causal level, even astral and physical become dream-like. That's the only reality. Wake up to the next, waken up to your soul, the Parbrahm, where you discover you are a soul. The whole thing was unreality, created into reality. The process of illusion in consciousness was able to create reality. It was not creating illusions, it was creating realities. Ultimately, all realities were created like that. But when you reach the top, where you have totality of consciousness, the whole totality of consciousness contains all the realities you have created. They are not separated anymore. Here they are separated. Separated by time, separated by different situations of our consciousness. Here, time separates. We can meditate in time and go to another level. And this becomes unreal. But we are still separating by time. When there is no time, we still separate by new different medium altogether, where the individual soul becomes total in awareness. That division by awareness also divides. But at the top, all are real and all are unreal at the same time. That is what the perfect living master is experiencing all the time. When he is amongst us, he sees all things being made real, all things are unreal, and his role in every one of them is different at the same time. And he's playing that role in all those different hats he's wearing. The physical one, the astral one, the causal one, the spiritual one, and total one at one time. Therefore, when a perfect living master in a human body, ordinary like us, sits amongst us, he's not seeing what we are seeing. He's seeing everything. And from all points of view. He does not have to go there and make a trip to find out, like some people think. Some people think a perfect living master has an access to spirituality, access to our true home, that he can suddenly go to her true home and say, find out, let me get the answer and tell you. No, he's seeing it and he is there at all times. He is aware of the creation, the process of creation at all times. And so can any one of you have. You're not privileged to do that. Anyone who can reach the top has the same experience, that you can have a total view of all levels of experience. Know all the time they're all unreal and they're all real, because you created reality out of this power of consciousness. So it's a remarkable way in which we have done this. And we'll take a break now. There may be some more questions I'll take up tomorrow. And I'd like to meet those who have given their names in the afternoon, starting at 3 o'clock. And you'll have a lunch break now. Thank you very much.